5 minutes, 30 seconds past the hour. 30 seconds to live.
This is Online Tonight.
Looking around for the phone number, it's 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546.
Online Tonight.
You're so scared I can smell it. And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
All right, welcome to Online Tonight on this unreasonably warm February, Saturday in Southern California. The perfect month, by the way. So the last day of the month, Saturday. First day of this month was a Sunday. Made a perfect box. So pretty neat. This is episode number 2100 of Online Tonight, where we talk about the latest in tech, pop culture, and more. We can include pretty much anything except for politics. I may have one political statement this hour, maybe next hour. We'll see how I feel. I'm a little annoyed about it, but I'm trying to stay out of the politics. So what do we talk about instead? What's the more? Well, the more is food, pets, video games, movies, theme parks, things like that. Coming up this hour, of course, we've got our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This, a robot army controlled remotely. Bad, bad, bad. A Hollywood merger, maybe. Comes and goes. And our review of Paradise Season 2. But more importantly, I want to make your life easier when it comes to technology. We've been providing free tech support here on Online Tonight for decades, and we hope that you'll take advantage of that. I love answering your questions, and you can reach out to the show in a lot of different ways, but the absolute best way is to use our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. You'll dial right into our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system, and then we can have a conversation. I always have follow-up questions. You can be my eyes and ears, and we can work this out together. If you're not listening live and you want to jump in, feel free. The email address, show@onlinetonight.com. And we have a text voicemail number, 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. Again, that number, 951-395-1017. Before we jump into some random tech news and your calls, I want to say that this portion of the show is brought to you by Paramount Plus. This streamer has become a serious contender when it comes to sports, or a series contender. I'm not sure which is which. And this month they are adding the UFC, the EFL, the UEFA, and the UFC. And that's available under the basic streaming plan. If you want to get some of these other things, you need the premium plan, and if you get that, then you can get the NCAA and the PGA. So that's pretty cool. You can find out all about Paramount Plus by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/STREAM. And the show is also brought to you by my new line of pirate-themed merchandise. I have T-shirts, hats, mugs, and tote bags, and stickers. I'm also adding my new St. Patrick's Day shirt, because I'm Irish. So I have a new take on the Kiss Me, I'm Irish shirt, and that'll be coming out within the next day or two. So please keep an eye out for that. All right, let's jump into the random tech news. If you own a DJI Romo, And it was randomly just kind of moving around on its own the other day. That's because a software engineer named Sammy had control over 7 to 10,000 of these DJI Romo vacuums for about a few hours in over 24 countries. Now, I like Sammy because two things. One, he used an AI coding assistant to reverse engineer the cloud communication. So that was kind of an interesting programming exercise on his part. He discovered a security flaw that gave him access to the live camera feeds so he could watch you eating your dinner or putting on your socks and shoes and maybe other things. He could hear what was going on through the microphones. He was able to map out your rooms because these robots kind of have these internal maps. And he gained access to thousands of devices. But what he did was he reported it promptly to DJI and said, you have got to patch this right away before other people like me use it for nefarious purposes. So the growing adoption, obviously, of home robots, including humanoid models from companies like Tesla and others, could really kind of play with our security and privacy concerns. Experts warn that AI-powered coding tools make it a lot easier for less experienced users, like myself, to uncover and exploit these similar vulnerabilities.
You already think your phone is constantly listening to you.
My phone is listening to me.
You would be extra paranoid thinking that that our Roomba was following you around taking pictures of you.
Extra paranoid? I don't know that that's really possible, right? I have that song in my head all day long. Tell me who's watching me. Plays on endless loop. I'm constantly looking around. What is that speed camera doing? What is that license plate camera doing? What is that ATM doing? What is that Ring doorbell doing? I'm constantly in a panic. And then I go to a theme park or whatever, and I'm trying. Sometimes I try to photobomb, but most of the time I'm trying to dodge the cameras. All right. That was not necessarily good news. I'm going to have the hiccups, apparently. We're going to have to deal with that. That was not really good news when it comes to other people controlling your robot. This is also not good news if you're an eBay employee. 800 employees, about 6% of their workforce has been laid off. This is the third round in 3 years. I'm going to have some iced tea and see if that'll help me. 1 second. This is their third layoff in 3 years following the reductions starting in 2023 and 2024. We barely even started this year. The layoffs come 1 week after eBay announced that it's going to buy, how do you want to say this? Depop?
That's how I would say it.
Yeah, for $1.2 billion, which was a division of Etsy, by the way. And the company said that, the job cuts are not related. Well, that's not good. Because that means as they start to integrate these systems and they find the redundancies, they're going to lay off more people. This is really what this is saying, in my opinion. A spokesman said the reductions aim to eliminate duplicate roles and better align staffing with strategic priorities, which then goes back to my original thing. They don't know what the duplicates are, right? What are the duplicate roles once they bring in Depop? So there's going to be another set of layoffs. Managers and directors appear heavily affected, along with some researchers, data scientists, and software engineers. A lot of software engineers are definitely feeling pressure because of the AI coding agents like Claude and Anti-Gravity and things like that. eBay's CEO previously said headcount and expenses had outpaced business growth. So they're always trying to balance, profit and loss versus shareholder value and all these things. eBay stock has roughly doubled over the last 2 years, by the way, with a valuation near $40 billion and more than $2 billion in annual profit as of last year. Another company laying off people, and we just saw a cool ad for it starring a major celebrity and a very attractive redhead. Lucid Motors is laying off around 320 workers from their Newark, California headquarters, part of a 12% U.S. workforce reduction. And I have another, guess as to what's going to happen. They're going to move out of California. because it just costs too much money to make anything in this state. They're going to do what Tesla did. They're going to go to Arizona, or they're going to go to Texas. That's where Tesla went. The cuts follow earlier layoffs from 2023 and 2024 and will officially take place April 21st, according to the WARN or WARN filing. I think they have to file with the government if they're going to lay off a certain percentage of their workforce. Engineering teams were hit the hardest, including more than 70 roles, each in hardware and software engineering, along with designers, data scientists, project managers, and they ousted a vice president. Wonder what he was up to. Hourly manufacturing workers in Arizona are not affected. Well, because the minimum wage in Arizona is less. The interim CEO called the layoffs difficult but necessary, and it says that it is to aim in improving efficiency and gross margins. Yeah, they got to make money to stay in business. Lucid plans to continue pushing sales of the Gravity SUV and the Air sedan while developing their robo-taxi and mid-sized vehicles. Despite building almost just over 18,000 vehicles last year, they have reported a $1.8 billion net loss in the first 9 months of 2025. Are you driving a Lucid? How do you feel about it? Ooh, what's going to happen to your support and service? Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
There's no better way to bond with your cats than with a special treat. Lickin' Lap by Vitacraft is a healthy 5-pack saucy tureen snack full of a creamy paste that your cats are gonna love. Free from artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives, it's the perfect snack between meals. Lickin' Lap is available at Walmart, your local pet stores, and of course, on their website at vitacraft.us.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines, always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-515-4035. 800-515-4035. 800-515-4035. That's 800-515-4035.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes where pride gets in the way and they may want the help. They may not know how to ask. With my traditions, with the family support in line, and just with my mind frame, I was able to turn a negative into a positive. I knew I needed more tools in my toolbox to take care of these little girls that had just lost their mother. It's time for me to be that father that I knew I could be. I think just being that good role model as well, that models good behavior in front of them, going to work every day, coming home and being able to put on that smile. The biggest reward about being a dad is sitting back and watching your kids be happy.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium. The performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Online tonight.
Geek Speak. Geek Speak.
All right, this hour is Geek Speak. We keep talking about early access to software and then there's beta programs and all that stuff. But I don't know that we've ever really told you what the difference is between them. So this hour's tech term is alpha software. Before we jump into that, this portion of the show is powered by Anchor. Anchor has announced their Nano wireless car charger. This means that your phone is held securely within view while using the QI2 certified 15-watt wireless charging pad. Plus, that wireless charging pad can be, it's detachable. You can take it with you and bring it into the office or your friend's house so you can charge up your devices. The mount itself has a 360-degree rotating head. It tilts 45 degrees to help you find the most comfortable viewing angle. You can find that and all the Anchor products by visiting our website, Anchor. It's onlinetonight.com/anchor. You go to our site, onlinetonight.com/anchor, ANKER. There you go. Now, alpha software. When we say alpha, it means early, right? It's the earliest one. It's a early testing version or phase of the software. It is functional usually. It's usually unpolished. It doesn't have all the bugs taken out of it. It might lack some of the features. It may have placeholders that say, we're going to add this feature and we're going to add this feature. And so when you get to those panels, it just says, code coming. So it's not the final version. It's the early version. Alpha software typically includes a lot of bugs, usability issues. The UI is not always cleaned up perfectly. And it's usually just tested internally within the company. The alpha stage is important for competitive reasons, as the developer may not want to disclose the new features of a software program until right before it's released so that people can't jump them to market. Time to market is important for software companies. Once the programmers have built a working version with all the necessary features, the lead developer may decide to implement a feature freeze, which is very important. I've worked at places where the feature creep is horrible, and we end up taking years to get the things fixed. A freeze is when they say, hey, that's it. We're not adding anything else. We're just going to fix the bugs and make it look pretty, and then we're going to get it out to our users. And when that freeze occurs and that bug fixing starts, that usually signals the end of the alpha phase. And then there's another phase, which we'll probably talk about next hour. That is this hour's Geek Speak. This hour's Geek Speak is alpha software. Alpha software. Still have to find my buttons sometimes. I moved them around and then I moved them back and still can't find them. Hey, the phone lines are open. You can call our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-online, 1-800-396-6546 is the number. Don't forget, you can follow me on X and Instagram. I use the same account name on both platforms, at Max Smart Radio, all one word, at Max Smart Radio. Miss Victoria.
Yes, we have a text from someone calling themselves Distracted in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but I'm constantly getting spam texts on my phone, my iPhone. I reply stop to the ones that give me that option, and I block and report the ones that don't. But they just seem to be multiplying and can be very distracting. Is there anything else that can be done?
Sure. Distracted in Orlando. I feel I feel just like you right now, slightly distracted. Let's see. Somebody told me recently that you should not click, if you're using an iPhone or an Android and there's that report spam, you might not want to do that, because kind of like in the old days when you would pick up the phone during a robocall and you got an immediate hang up, they were verifying that you had a legitimate phone number, and then they would sell it to somebody else. Somebody was saying that it is possible to do that in the text world.
But not the block and report, or the it's if you reply to the message.
Oh, if you hit stop or remove. Sure.
You type stop.
Gotcha. I understand. But the second question then is, when it says block and report, who are you reporting it to? Are you reporting it to Apple or Google, or are you reporting it to the phone company who may or may not notify? I'm suspicious. I'm always suspicious and paranoid. We covered that earlier. Who's getting this reporting, right? I don't know. Does it somehow flow through to the person who left me the call? So one thing you might do is definitely don't reply. Don't type the word stop. Don't say unsubscribe. Don't do that, right? So stop doing that. If you're doing that, don't do that. But what you can do is you can forward a text message to 7726. This is the authorized, I think, government required reporting mechanism to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. And that way you can let the carriers know that these people are taking advantage of the system, and maybe they'll block it more effectively. Again, not knowing exactly what the operating system does, because I believe that Android does it different than the iPhone does. And I don't know, is Apple getting that? Is Google getting that? Are they reporting it back to the carriers? Is somehow the original sender getting notified, in which case you've just verified that the phone number was right? You can also block. Go ahead.
I looked it up, and for the iPhone, it says the sender's information and message content are sent to Apple and often your cellular carrier to help improve spam detection.
Sure. Okay. Well, it's definitely safer to, especially if it's not an iMessage, if it's an SMS or an RCS, then you'll want to let the carrier know, because it's impacting their servers more than Apple's. So it's nice to know that the Apple's report and block is going to Apple, and then they're doing something on their end to protect their servers. So there you go. You can also block the number. You can, if it's not one of those 4-digit numbers, if it's like a regular number. But then I recently looked at my block number list, and I'm in the hundreds now, because that's how I used to do it. I never reply to a text message that I don't recognize, especially these money ones. Hey, you've been approved for $50,000 loan. Just call us back, or hit 1, and a loan agent will call you back. These are bad. You don't want to do that, because then they know that you're legit, and they'll turn around and sell your stuff. Carriers like Verizon's Call Filters, T-Mobile's Scam Shield, and AT&T's Active Armor can also help you with some of these blocking features. Third-party apps use like RoboKiller and Spam Hound and Text Killer can also add some advanced filtering, but then it uses AI and some keywords and some other stuff, and I think that sometimes complicates the thing. So hopefully that helped you out. A little bit distracted. If you're not listening live and you want to submit a question just like Distracted did, the phone number is 951-395-1017, and the email address show@onlinetonight.com. I just very quickly want to say my old boss, had he still been alive, Steve Jobs, would have been 71 last week. Stay tuned.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new in vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. Sumerian Collection.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. That's 800-439-7851.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. LoveYourMindToday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Online Tonight is live and on the air at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
Won't believe what just happened to me. I was the victim of a radio prank.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's a sad day when getting a man to describe his own behind passes as human.
Butts. Hey, thanks for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. My name is Max Smart. The name of the show is Online Tonight. Don't forget you can use our Caller One, our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system to get that free tech support, or if you want to just talk about pop culture more, you want to get a permission slip to get something new, maybe you got some new gear that you think is awesome and that everybody should check out, or you have a question, then give us a ring, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. You can also drop me an email, show@onlinetonight.com. And the voicemail text number, 951-395-1017. Before we jump into our movie premiere, let me share with you that this portion of the show is brought to you by Govee and the Govee Neon Rope Light 2. I'm about to order 100 feet of it, so I'm looking forward to playing with that. It looks just like a neon sign from a few feet away. It's incredibly shapeable. It's got some cool neon light strips. And it's got the bend clips and the corner clips and the angle clips and all that stuff, so you can make your custom styles. It comes in a 10-foot roll or a 16.4-foot roll. You can learn more about Govee's products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/Govee, onlinetonight.com/GOVEE. 2 E's, 1 V, 1 G, GOVEE.
From Hollywood.
One very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Blockbusters, tearjerkers, family fare.
Everything is awesome.
What's worth seeing in the theater, and what should you just watch at home?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Here are your hosts.
I'm still Max.
I'm still Victoria.
All right,
Who
great.
else would I be?
I don't know, but I wanted to make sure. We're going to share with you our thoughts on Paradise Season 2, rated TV MA on Hulu. If you haven't seen Season 1, we apologize, but there's going to be a couple spoilers, especially that last episode. So if you're missing the last 2 or 3 episodes of Paradise Season 1, do not listen, because I'm about to tell you how it ends.
Put your fingers in your ears and go la 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 la.
All right. So in Season 1, the very last thing is the main character,
Xavier,
heard his wife, Terry, over the radio. And so he decided to leave the bunker and go and find her. And now we're going to talk about Season 2. Miss Victoria, go ahead.
Sure. We have a couple of new additions to the cast so far. And if you're a little bit confused when you start watching episode 1 of Season 2, that it doesn't pick up right after the end of Season 1.
Right. We don't see Xavier in the plane.
We don't. And the reason for that is we're establishing the part of the story that takes place above ground.
Right. Outside the bunker.
Right. And we're establishing some new characters who will be seen throughout this season. And one of those is Annie, who lives in Memphis. And she is played by Shailene Woodley, who we know from the Divergence movies.
Sure.
And things like that.
And I love her background story. She starts off as a nurse, but then she doesn't like it. So then
she was in med school.
And then she kind of freaked out because it reminded, like seeing cancer patients reminded of her mother, and she got, she couldn't really deal with it very much, so she quit. But she was her and her mother were huge Elvis fans, like obsessively Elvis fans. And kind of like when we were younger, we would go through the Jelly Belly factory. We went to the Jelly Belly factory so many times we could have given the tour.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? She gets hired to do the Elvis Graceland tour. Go ahead.
Yes. And so that's where Annie is on the day that everything bad starts to happen in the world. And so all the tourists who are there are getting pings on their phones, and everybody's looking at it. And Annie just snaps into survival mode right away. And she tells that the security guard who has become her friend, who is the one who initially helped her get the job there, after she quit med school. She tells her to grab all kinds of things from the visitor center across the street, blankets, clothes, food, just all kinds of supplies, and bring them over to the main house, which is really smart. So that's where they stay. That's where they bunker themselves in Elvis's house in Graceland, which is amazing. I mean, can you imagine just having that entire house to yourself?
And they finally got to go into the rooms they're not supposed to. Because
Yeah.
when we took our tour of Graceland, so this was kind of fun for us because we did get a chance to see Elvis's plane and his garage, and then across the street was the main living. And apparently one of the family members, whether it was Priscilla or Lisa, was upstairs during our tour, was in the house. And that's why half of the house was completely off, wasn't allowed. And there was bodyguards standing on the stairs to make sure nobody tried to sneak away and go upstairs. So it was fun, and it was nerve-wracking at the same time. But they get to see all that. They got to see all the rest of the house because there was nobody but them left in the house. Go.
So the entire first episode of season 2 is introducing us to the character of Annie. And then after she's been there for quite a while, she gets a group of visitors. And there's a little bit of drama that goes along with that. And she meets somebody, and then they leave, and they are actually headed to Colorado, which brings us back full circle to the bunker in Colorado where Xavier is. And we finally get to see him at the end of the first episode. And then.
But he's not in Colorado.
He's not.
He ends up near Memphis, near Graceland.
Yes.
And if you remember, he was in an airplane. So we don't want to wreck any more of that. But we've seen now a couple of episodes.
Yes.
And we start to learn and meet the above ground people. Let's just call them that.
Okay.
The normal people.
There are currently 3 episodes that you can watch on Hulu, and they are dropping the other ones on Mondays. And so there are a total of 8 episodes in this season. So 3 available now and 5 to come. But yes, I believe what we're going to be doing for a while is going back and forth maybe between what's going on above ground and what's going on in the bunker, because they have to update us on what happened after Xavier left.
Right.
I mean, his kids are still there.
At the bunker.
Yeah.
He's trying to get Terry, his wife.
Yeah.
We're talking about Paradise Season 2, rated TVMA on Hulu. Not really a lot for nudity or things like that. It's mostly for violence and maybe a few strong words, I think. But if you're paying attention, Xavier was in a little airplane on his way to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, for some reason, he ends up, maybe gas, I'm not going to tell you why, ends up near Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, which is not that close to Atlanta, Georgia. And then, how's he going to get there? And is Anne going to help him, or is she going to hinder him, or whatever? So we're only in 2 or 3 episodes out of 8. But we keep meeting the land dwellers. We keep meeting the above ground people. And, they're all in like crazy survival mode. Some of them have possibly radiation poisoning. Some of them are not stable. So there looks like there's going to be quite a bit of action and quite a bit of extra people floating around.
I like that we got to see what actually was happening above ground, like that they went back to, day 1 to show us the people, because in season 1, all we saw was them getting everybody to the bunker. We didn't really see the aftermath of what was happening globally.
All right, so you're excited about it so far?
I am. I like this show a lot. It's very dystopian in a way, but it's also very, I find it very interesting.
Dystopian is an interesting term. I see it as haves and have-nots, and how the elites kind of created their own special place where they could live happy and blah, 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 and just forget everybody else.
And then there's a lot of backstabbing and stuff, so that's always
Even within the elites, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So one more time, Paradise Season 2, rated TVMA on Hulu. Did you watch Season 1? What did you think? Are you in the middle of are you at the beginning of Season 2, and how are you feeling so far? I think it's going to be a good ride. If you haven't seen all of Season 1, you got to do it, or you won't know where you are. Stay tuned.
At Bon Voyage Earns, we love our pets. We couldn't imagine our lives without them. But we know that when they pass on, we want to treat them with the respect they deserve, because they're family members too. Bon Voyage Earns makes biodegradable, marine-safe urns for the delivery of pets' cremated remains to a beautiful resting place in the Pacific Ocean. Love them while you have them. Give them a proper send-off when it's time. More information at bvorns.com.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Our research team has found a perfect solution to solve any man's ED problem, erectile dysfunction. Even the word is a bummer. And those pharmacy pills are expensive, but when you call our special toll-free number, you can always buy 40 to 50 pills for around $2 each. At your pharmacy, you could spend up to $65 for just one pill. Our price is around $2, and our formula works virtually the same as the expensive pills. We even deliver them to your door in a confidential package so you don't have to go anywhere. Just pick up the phone and order 40 to 50 highly effective ED pills for around $2 each. It's a no-brainer. You'll save hundreds of dollars, and you'll have our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call now to order 40 to 50 ED pills with no prescription for around $2 each.
Call Steelman now at 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Online tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
Alrighty, I'm Max, by the way. This is our Bookmark This, and you probably knew yesterday, the February 27th, was Pokemon Day. It's celebrated every year on the 27th of February, and this was a special year because it's their 30th anniversary. 1996 was the release of the original Pokemon game in Japan. If you missed it, that's okay. You can join next year if you want to learn more about Pokemon. This is a great website, Pokemon.com/US. You can learn all the latest news. You can shop for Pokemon products from this official website. You can also search the Pokédex. It's a play on Rolodex, but it's called a Pokédex. For more information on the different Pokemon by name or by number, you can do the advanced search by type and weakness and ability and a lot more. So head over to Pokemon.com/US, Pokemon.com/US. That is this hour's Bookmark This, brought to you by Swag to the Max. I have teamed up with them to release my new line of pirate-themed merchandise, and I'm going to have a special St. Patrick's Day shirt coming out next week that you can check out. And Swag to the Max offers a whole bunch of other stuff. You go to swagtothemax.com. You can get 500 pens for your business or tote bags or tumblers or whatever. But they've helped me set up my own T-shirt shop at onlinetonight.com. Well, it's not just T-shirts. It's mugs and hats and tote bags. All you have to do is go to onlinetonight.com/store. onlinetonight.com/store, I believe. That's the wrong button.
Online tonight.
I'll get it eventually. All right. You can call. There's still time to get in and get your free tech support. 1-800-39-ONLINE is a toll-free telephone number. 1-800-396-6546. That brings you right into our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system. If you want to know about that, feel free. Call. I'll tell you all about it. You can take your entire phone system in a little tiny box and take it to any venue. So if you're a podcaster or an interviewer or you do a radio show and you want to go see one of your affiliates, I can tell you how this box can make your job and things so much easier. You can bring your 800 number pretty much anywhere you want. It's great. Even to Japan. That's where I want to go and do a broadcast someday soon. All right, back to entertainment news. I don't really see this as a loss, but apparently some people do. You know, there's been a battle for Warner Brothers. We've had Paramount battling for Warner Brothers, and we've had Netflix battling for Warner Brothers. Apparently all that's over now. Netflix has officially withdrawn their bid for Warner Brothers, citing that the deal no longer makes financial sense. Well, you'll find out why in a second. It was a nice to have. Netflix would have liked to have had Warner Brothers, where they would have gotten Batman and Superman and all the other things. And I think Warner Brothers even has like cartoons and and Harry Potter. I mean, they have a pretty deep library. They would have liked to have had it. They didn't have to have it. It was not a must-have. It was a nice-to-have. Paramount, led by David Ellison, is now expected to win the acquisition with its bid deemed the superior proposal by the Warner Brothers Discovery Board. Paramount is offering $31 per share and a 25-cent per quarter ticking fee whatever that means, after September 30th, a $7 billion regulatory termination provision, and an agreement to pay off the, drum roll, do I have a drum? I think I have a drum. $2.8 billion guarantee that Netflix had by making the original offer. Netflix loses. But they
still win.
But they almost get $3 billion.
How does that work?
Good contract negotiation.
Wow.
That is, I want a gig like that. Now, I don't even need $1 billion. I'll do it for $100 million. Let's go see about buying somebody.
Right.
And then we'll put a $100 million clause in it. And then, we'll get a competitor to bid in. And then, we magically lose and we come out with a big chunk of cash.
No, you take your time. Look at everybody else's proposals.
Don't go
I
over
want
there
you to
and
make the best decision.
Yeah, don't go over there and look at this other company who might offer you 15 cents more per share. Don't go talk to them because that'll trigger the $100 million gift. Amount that we agreed to. It's crazy how these things work. I'm in the wrong business, I guess. I need to get into acquisitions. So Ted and Greg Peters, well, Ted's name is not Peters. Greg is Peter. I know Greg Peters. Said Netflix will continue investing about $20 billion in content, expanding its streaming offerings, and resume its share repurchase program. David Zaslav, hey, that's the Warner Brothers guy, thanked Netflix for its participation and expressed excitement about the combined Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Brothers Discovery potential, while noting regulatory and antitrust approvals are still needed. Okay, so if the government, the FTC or whoever says, hey, this is the big question. So Warner Brothers didn't have to pay the $2.8 billion to Netflix. It looks like Paramount is going to have to pay that. If the government comes back and says, we're not going to approve this deal, Warner Brothers has to give Paramount $7 billion out of their money. See, they didn't have to pay the Netflix money because Paramount was going to pay it. But if this doesn't get approved, Warner Brothers is going to be out a big chunk of money. And why are they selling? Because they don't have a lot of money. It just seems weird to me. Netflix has seen a dip over the last 6 months, but their shares rose about 10% in after-hours trading once they announced they were pulling out of the deal. So there you go. Hey, are you an AMC, Theater, A-List, or Stubbs Premier member? If so, you're going to get a benefit at no extra cost. A new program is going to allow you to get preferred seating, meaning they're going to block out certain seats from these blockbuster movies and reserve them for you, the A-List and the Stubbs members, so that you're going to get first access to the best seats. They're going to sell around you, to the normies who walk in off the street. But if you come in and you're one of those members, one of their premier subscribers, you're going to get preferred seating. So that's pretty darn cool if you're excited about that. And there's a lot of things to look forward to. Spider-Man, Toy Story 5, Avengers Doomsday. So keep that in mind if you're going to be going to the theater sometime this year. Don't forget, if you missed any portion of the show, you can head over to onlinetonight.com, or you can subscribe to the podcast. You can listen to the archive right there. You can see the show notes. We put the Bookmark This and the Geek Speak and all of the notes that we have for each hour. This is hour 1 of episode number 2100. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of the station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
30 seconds past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
One minute past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
One minute, 30 seconds past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Two minutes past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Two minutes, 30 seconds past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Three minutes past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Three minutes, 30 seconds past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Four minutes past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Four minutes, 30 seconds past the hour.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
Five minutes past the hour. 60 seconds to live.
From Los Angeles, this is Online Tonight.
5 minutes, 30 seconds past the hour. 30 seconds to live.
This is Online Tonight.
We're on the air live tonight. 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546 is the number.
Online Tonight.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys could find a way to shut the hell up!
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
Alrighty, how are you? Welcome to Online Tonight on this last Sunday of February, making a perfect square month. This is hour 2 of episode number 2100 or 2100. My name is Max Smart, and here we talk about tech, pop culture, or whatever pops into my little brain, my noggin. Coming up this hour, of course, we've got our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This, computers to be assembled in the United States, and our favorite snack might be under fire, and our review of an older movie starring Keira Knightley called The Woman in Cabin 10. But most importantly, Online Tonight has been here for decades to help you with your tech questions. Pretty much anything. We're not going to be able to diagnose complicated printer questions, but we can talk about 3D printers. We could talk about regular printers, just in general. Like last week, I think we had a thing about ink costs and stuff like that. There are no dumb questions. So call in or text or email and get in, ask your question, and we'll be happy to help you. And you might help somebody else who was too afraid to ask. Give me a call on our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546 is the toll-free telephone number. This is the best method because I always have follow-up questions. You can be my eyes and ears, and we can do it together. If you send me an email or a text or something like that, then I got to make assumptions, and those aren't always correct for your situation. Speaking of the other ways to get in, of course, Victoria's taking your calls. She's going through your texts, your emails, your chats on the Twitch and the YouTube. You can drop me an email, show@onlinetonight.com, SHOW. Go ahead. Thank you. At onlinetonight.com, and the voicemail text number was 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. Again, that number, 951-395-1017. Before we jump into a lot of Apple news, and there's going to be even more Apple news this coming week because starting on Monday, they've got these special little presentations that they're going to do, and there's some rumors I'm going to share with you about what some of those are. But this portion's show is brought to you by Anchor. They showed off a bunch of new stuff at CES, including their little display. It's a tiny display. It's a 180-degree foldable little stand, and it can. It's a charger. It's called it's the Nano charger, and it can identify what device you've plugged in. So different models want different charging abilities, and this charger, the Nano charger, the little smart display, identifies what phone you're using, and then will use the appropriate amount of power. It also has a special feature to keep the batteries cold or cooler than other competing 45-watt chargers. You can check out all the Anchor products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/anchor, onlinetonight.com/anchor. And of course, the show is also brought to you by my t-shirt store and mugs and hats and tote bags are going to be added shortly. I'm also going to be adding a St. Patrick's Day shirt. Most of them are pirate themed, so hopefully you'll like those. Visit onlinetonight.com/store. All right, now some Apple news. Apple has announced that through their partnership with Foxconn, they're going to start assembling Mac Minis in Houston, Texas later this year, like not tomorrow, but later. Tim Cook highlighted the move as part of the company's commitment to expanding American manufacturing. I mean, he has gotten a little bit of pressure from the current administration. But, it's nice to have some manufacturing back in the States. The Houston facility will also expand AI server production and open a new advanced manufacturing center, offering hands-on training for students, supplier employees, and U.S. businesses. Apple's operations chief said that the U.S. Mac Mini assembly is part of their $600 million investment in the U.S. Through August of 2029. So over the next 3 years, they're going to spend, on average, $300 million or 200 and something million, or billion, excuse me, wow, a year through that time. The Mac Mini will be assembled to serve the domestic market, while production for international orders will still continue out of Asia. So if you're in Ireland, or you're in England or Scotland or in France, or you're in Belarus or wherever you are, you're going to probably get those from the Asian manufacturing. If you're in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, it may come out of the Houston factory. The Mac Mini is a very popular product, especially now with OpenClaw and some of these other things. It currently, and it's going to be very interesting to see on the next report, how much the Mini has grown, because there was a huge demand on them over the last couple months. But normally it's about a 5% pie for Apple's global Mac sales. It is one of the cheapest models to get. Starts at $599 retail. Sometimes you can get a discount. Why is it so cheap? Well, it doesn't have a keyboard, it doesn't have a mouse, doesn't have a display. It's just the brain and some auxiliary ports on it, of course, kind of like the Mac Studio. It doesn't have a keyboard and a mouse, and you buy all those extra. So that's why it starts at $599, and then it's like $80, $90 to get the keyboard and the mouse. If you want a trackpad, it's $50 to $300 for a display if you're not getting something overly pro. So it can add up. Apple is also boosting U.S. chip production, purchasing over 100 million chips from TSMC out of their Arizona facility, and they are also working with Global Wafers in Texas. They have a new plant out there. All right, here's some of the rumors about what may or may not come next week. The MacBook Pro, M5 Pro, and the M5 Max. You know that the M5 MacBook Pro is already available, but this is just the regular chip, not the advanced chip. They're expected to launch soon. It could even be released as early as March 4th at one of the special experience events. The design is going to be very similar to what we had before. There'll be a 14-inch display and a 16-inch display, so the case is not going to really change. But it'll offer the new chips, the M5 Pro and the M5 Max. The M5 Pro and Max are built on TSMC's N3P 3nm process, offering about 20% faster multi-core CPU performance and 30% faster GPU performance compared to the M4. So if you're going from an M1 or an M2, it kind of makes sense to jump to the faster one. Like the jump between M1 and M2 wasn't that great, but going from an M1 or an M2 to an M5, that you're going to see some serious performance changes. Each GPU core, by the way, has a new thing called the Neural Accelerator in it. That helps with AI workflows, third generation ray tracing, some dynamic caching, and some other shader abilities. The 16-core neural engine is a little more energy efficient. Unified memory bandwidth is significantly improved. The SSD speed is faster. So overall, it should be a good machine. The M5 Pro and M5 Max models are suitable for users needing immediate high performance and aren't worried about some of the upcoming display updates. And I don't have a lot today about the new Studio display, but I do have another rumor. Apple is developing a touchscreen OLED for MacBook Pros, expected to launch towards the end of the year or early 2027. I am finding myself now, because I deal with touchscreens in the studio, I deal with my phone, I deal with my iPad. Sometimes I'm talking to my wife or my daughter or an employee here, and I will go to touch their screen, realizing that's not going to do anything, because MacBooks and MacBook Airs and most of the monitors that are connected to Mac Studios and Mac Minis, they're not touch screens. But Apple's talking about maybe making one. Mac OS will be updated to be more touch-friendly, supporting tap-and-click input, touch-optimized controls, pinch to zoom, and fast scrolling gestures right on the screen. So just like an iPad, users will be able to use touch and mouse gestures interchangeably, but the MacBook Pro will not be marketed as a touch-first device like the iPad, meaning it'll have your trackpad still and a keyboard, and you'll interact probably with the unit more traditionally. But if you want to zoom a photo, or if you want to click on a button or whatever, you could just reach out and touch it. That's a rumor, at least. So there you are. What kind of Mac are you using? I'd love to hear from you. 1-800-39-ONLINE is the toll-free telephone number. 1-800-396-6546. Stay tuned.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new and vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. Sumerian Collection.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-908-3082. 800-908-3082. 800-908-3082. That's 800-908-3082.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes, where pride gets in the way, and they may want the help, they may not know how to ask. With my traditions, with the family support in line, and just with my mind frame, I was able to turn a negative into a positive. I knew I needed more tools in my toolbox to take care of these little girls that had just lost their mother. It's time for me to be that father that I knew I could be. I think just being that good role model as well, that models good behavior in front of them, going to work every day, coming home and being able to put on that smile. The biggest reward about being a dad is sitting back and watching your kids be happy.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Online tonight.
Geek Speak. Geek Speak.
Alrighty, Geek Speak, where we take a tech term. No. Yeah, we take a tech term and turn it into plain English right before your very ears. Is beta software. Last hour we talked about alpha software. So I thought we have talked about Apple betas, iOS betas, and stuff like that. And what are those and how are they different than alpha software? I will share that with you in just a moment. Still fighting those hiccups. This Geek Speak is brought to you by, or lit by, Govee. They introduced some cool stuff in January at CES, including their LumaBlend Plus color system. This color management system features a new 16-bit precision chip for smoother, more precise color transitions and industry-leading 1,000 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin color temperature range. It has to do with the temperatures. We talked about that a little bit last week. Those really bright blue lights versus those kind of rosy, toned. Right, these are within the different ranges of Kelvils. That's the color tone thing. So it has a larger range, so you can get those super bright blue lights, or you can get those nice warm colors. I use the warmer colors in here. Otherwise, it's just blinding. Govee also has a new partnership with Samsung in the smart things. You can check out all the Govee products by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/Govee, onlinetonight.com/GOV. Thank you, Miss Victoria, for the T. GOVEE. Okay, now, beta software. BETA, by the way. This is computer software that is undergoing testing and has not reached the release candidate yet. It's not officially released, meaning it's not widely available to the public. It's not going to be on a shelf. It's not going to be in the App Store. It's not going to be in a digital marketplace. It is the beta phase, which follows the alpha phase, and it precedes the final version, the final release. Some beta software is only made available to a select number of people, like Apple developers or Android developers or people that are inside the testing bubble. While other beta programs can be released to the general public to get general public feedback, because not everybody's going to grab it. If you're relying on XYZ program for your day-to-day and to run your business, I highly recommend you not run beta software. But if you have another machine and you want to check it out to see what some of the new features are, maybe you're in a business that has a lab with some IT people, and you say, hey, this is going to be the new version of the operating system. Go check it out, see if we've got any gotchas. You could report them back into the company to get fixed. So that's great. Software developers release beta software in order to get that feedback from their users before the final version comes out. In most cases, a software developer will release multiple beta versions incrementally as it kind of grows during the phase. Each version includes updates, bug fixes to make it more responsive to any feedback that they got. The beta phase may last anywhere from a few weeks for a small group to several months if you have a larger group. Since beta software is pre-release and not the final application, it could be unstable, it could lack some of the features that you're used to, or it may not have all of the features enabled that would be in the final release. So you want to be careful about how you use it. You're going to use it at your own risk, kind of like all software anyway. If you chose to beta test a program, be aware that it may not function as you expected, and it could just randomly quit. So I've had that happen to me all the time. I used to be a beta tester for a lot of stuff. I learned my lesson. Don't put it in production. Bad, bad, bad. That is this hour's Geek Speak beta software. And I'm going to look at my dumb button again. Geek Speak is beta software.
Online Tonight.
All right, so just a little behind the scenes. I use a switcher, and I moved the buttons around, and then I didn't like it, so then I moved them back, and now I can't remember where I moved them to. I keep wondering if they're in the wrong place. It doesn't matter. If you want information on how I do some of this stuff, you're welcome to give me a call. 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. That gets you right into our Caller One, our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system, which is a fantastic phone system for talk shows and mobile people who want to have conference calls and be able to take their number with them anywhere they go that has internet. It's really cool. We can talk about that too if you'd like. Don't forget you can follow me on X and Instagram. I have the same account name on both platforms, Max Smart Radio, all one word, at Max Smart Radio. Miss Victoria.
We have a listener question that came in a text from someone named Butterfingers in New Orleans.
Candy bar.
I am not super proficient with typing on the tiny keyboard on my iPhone, so I'm constantly retyping or editing things, like what I'm entering into a search or a URL. I have trouble scrolling to the end of a URL or search term in that tiny little box. Is there a better way to do this?
Sure. Just real quick. If I was to make a boy band now, Miss Victoria, it wouldn't be considered a boy band. What would it be called? And don't say old man band. What would it be? Quick. I want to get to the answer.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I want the name of the band to be called Tiny Keyboard. Okay. We're going to be the Tiny Keyboard people. All right. So Butterfingers, I thought you were going to drop your phone. I thought you were going to ask about dropping your phone, like in a lake or the pool or the potty or something like that. Like you had trouble. No, you just want a navigation tip on how to move your cursor around. Apple made it super easy because if you think about it in a way, an iPhone or an iPad is a giant trackpad. So what you do is the keyboard's up, right? So you see all the letters, you see QWERTY along the top, and you have this nice giant spacebar at the bottom. Click on it and hold it down until all of the letters go away. They'll all be gray little boxes with no letters, no Q, no W, no E, etc., right? Or numbers. Everything is gray. Okay, now move your finger back and forth, and you'll see the character insert tool moving across the line of text. And if you get to the edge, and there's enough room on your space bar, it will scroll and let you go further to the right or further to the left. If it doesn't scroll, then bring your finger all the way in the opposite direction that you want to scroll. Click and hold the space bar again, and then move your finger across, and that little insertion will get to the edge of the text box or the URL box or whatever it is you're typing into, and it will go across. I use this every day when I do a text message. I always have 1,000 typos. Even if I dictate it to my personal assistant on my phone by hitting that microphone button, she never gets it right. Like I must talk like a strange person or something. That is not the word I used. So I'm constantly holding that down and scrolling up or down or backwards to get there. And I use it all the time. So hold down the space bar, basically turns it into a trackpad that you can move left or right. All the letters will go away. That way you know it's active, and then you can move the insertion point wherever you would like. I hope that helps, Butterfingers. If you want to submit a question like Butterfingers did, you can email show@onlinetonight.com, or you can text me or leave me a voicemail at 951-395-1017. 951-395-1017. Butterfingers, I hope that helped. If it didn't, just let me know. Stay tuned.
At Bon Voyage Urns, we love our pets. We couldn't imagine our lives without them. But we know that when they pass on, we want to treat them with the respect they deserve, because they're family members too. Bon Voyage Urns makes biodegradable, marine-safe urns for the delivery of pets' cremated remains to a beautiful resting place in the Pacific Ocean. Love them while you have them. Give them a proper send-off when it's time. More information at bvearns.com.
There's no better way to bond with your cats than with a special treat. Lick and Lap by Vitacraft is a healthy 5-pack saucy tureen snack full of a creamy paste that your cats are going to love. Free from artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives, it's the perfect snack between meals. Lick and Lap is available at Walmart, your local pet stores, and of course, on their website at vitacraft.us.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. That's 800-439-7851.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Out here, in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. And sometimes, that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Stress builds up, you have trouble sleeping, maybe your mind is racing and you just don't feel like yourself. So what do? We get help. Lots of people are struggling with their mental health. It's more common than you think. The good news is, there are people in our community who are here for us when times are tough. Sometimes, just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world, so we don't feel so alone. One thing you can do is visit loveyourmindtoday.org for simple steps you can take to find the right solution for you. Whether it's hearing stories about what other people are going through, or finding the resources we need to navigate the stresses in our lives. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown. Never let kids' toys take over the house. And never fill your feed with kid photos. You'd never plan your life around their schedule. Never lick your thumb to clean their face. And you'd never let them leave the house looking like less than their best. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it. Never let them stay up too late. And never let them run wild through the grocery store.
Peanut on aisle 6. And aisle 3.
So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're
taking your calls right now at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
No matter how much it changes, technology is just a bunch of wires connected to a bunch of other wires.
Oh, really? So what's wrong with it?
Can't seem to find any wires.
I have the opposite problem. We have way too many wires. Hey, thanks for joining me. My name is Max Smart, and the name of the show is Online Tonight. Feel free to use our Broadcast by Onyx Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. Get that free tech support that we've been giving viewers and callers like you for the last couple decades. You can also reach me via email and text, voicemail. The email address, show@onlinetonight.com, SHOW@onlinetonight.com, and the text voicemail number 951-395-1017. Before we get into our movie review, I have teamed up with Swag to the Max to introduce my new line of pirate-themed merchandise, which is T-shirts and other swag. See what I did there? It's like a pun. Hats, shirts, cups, or mugs, tote bags. I'm also releasing my new St. Patrick's Day shirt next week because I'm Irish, and it's a play on an old traditional St. Patrick's Day saying. You'll understand it when you see it. You can find out more about it by going to my website, onlinetonight.com/store. Onlinetonight.com/store. Now, our movie review.
From Hollywood.
One very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Blockbusters, tearjerkers, family fare.
Everything is awesome.
What's worth seeing in the theater and what should you just watch at home?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Here are your hosts.
I am Max.
I'm Victoria.
All right. I'm glad you were able to join me. Our movie review is from what year, by the way? Like 2023, 2024, 2025? This is a little bit older, and I don't know how I missed it.
It just came out like in October.
Oh, so it's from 2025, October 2025. I have a soft spot for Keira Knightley. Not all the nude stuff that she does, but I'm a huge, obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean fan. And we have interviewed her on the red carpet, and she was very gracious, and she has that funny little accent because she's British. And she's the main star of this movie, The Woman in Cabin 10, rated R, now available on Netflix.
Yeah, I originally thought this was in the theaters, but it was direct to Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like Red whatever with Ryan and yeah. Tell us about it.
Okay, this is based on a novel. And interestingly enough, the woman who wrote the novel just last year wrote a sequel. So we may see more from Lo Blacklock.
Nice.
Keira plays Lo Blacklock. I have trouble with that. That's a difficult word. Who is a journalist. She works for The Guardian in London. And she is, I guess you would say maybe an investigative reporter.
That's exactly what I'd call her. Investigative reporter. She gets the dirt on the bad people and then she writes it down on paper.
Right.
Or on the internets.
Right. And she has just been through a very grueling situation where something bad happened to a source who was opening up to her about the last thing that she was writing about.
She had a whistleblower. And they found out who the whistleblower was, and they got rid of her.
And that person can't
manner.
blow a whistle anymore.
That's right. Can't do much of anything.
Right.
Feed fish.
So she was pretty devastated by that. And she's relieved to find an invitation when she returns to the office, an invitation to go on a luxury cruise under the auspices of writing about a charitable foundation that has been established by a wealthy couple.
All right, so you know I am chomping at the bit because you said luxury cruise. This is not a normal cruise. This is on a private mega yacht, a 150-footer, $200 million super yacht by the ultra rich. This is not like Princess Cruise Lines or Disney Cruise Lines. This is not a cruise line. This is a private, ultra rich experience. Go.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It makes a difference to me because I'm an oddball.
Okay. So she goes. She's looking forward to maybe taking a break from what she normally does, and just do more of a fluff piece, on this organization, and get some R&R in a beautiful place. A free cruise, not really a cruise, but a journey with a bunch of rich people. And it seems like that's what's going to happen. But of course, she's investigative. So as soon as she's on board, she starts, looking at people, and then realizes that her former boyfriend, who's a photographer, is also on board documenting the trip. And she accidentally slips into another cabin that she thinks is empty, just to avoid him in the hallway. And she encounters a woman that looks different from all the passengers, who's, somebody that she hasn't seen thus far among the passengers.
And is not on the guest list.
Well, we find that out later.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's
a mystery.
Yeah. Something happens, and of course, Lo is the one who is kind of a witness, but not fully a witness, and so people don't necessarily believe her, especially considering what she's just been through, the traumatic experience. And so,
which nobody would have known about if it wasn't for her stupid
boyfriend.
What an idiot! Why is he sharing his garbage
he seems
with
like
the
an
elites?
Informant.
I think he's just I want to be included and I want you to like me, so I'm going to give you things so that you'll accept me as an elite when I'm a normie.
So we have a mystery, kind of akin to an Agatha Christie, where you have all these people on a boat and something happens, and then everybody's a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the problem is that nobody's acknowledging that anything bad has happened, because there was no one in cabin 10. And Lo is then, under a microscope. Everybody is constantly talking about her and looking at her and thinking that she's crazy. And then somebody tries to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets locked in a storeroom, and, bad things keep happening. And so she starts to piece together what is happening. And you actually figured it out right around the time she did.
Well, I think I might have hit it up before she did. And that's one of the advices I'm going to make for this movie. We're talking about The Woman in Cabin 10, rated R, available on Netflix. I guess it's a Netflix exclusive. It is starring Keira Knightley and some other people that you might recognize, like Guy Pearce is in it. Did you mention that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And these people have a lot of money. I love yachts, and I would love to be invited on a yacht like this. My dream is to win that $1 billion in the lottery and buy myself a $200 million yacht. This is what I want. And I love them. Even on our honeymoon, when we were in Virgin Gorda, we swam like a mile out to go look at a yacht that was docked and had to be tendered in. The people had to be tendered in off a little boat because the big thing was so big it had to be out in the middle of the lagoon. We swam out there. Then we looked back and we went, holy crap, we got to swim all the way back. But it was a beautiful day and the yacht was beautiful. I want one. So I was fascinated by this. The problem that I had was my mind started going. I tried to solve the mystery early on, and I had all these hypotheses. What's the word? Am I close?
Hypotheses, yes.
Okay. And I unfortunately wrecked the last third of the movie because I had guessed right. So what I'm saying is, if you watch this movie, The Woman in Cabin 10, rated R on Netflix, just enjoy the ride and don't try to figure it out. Because I was thinking, how would I do it as a criminal? How would I do it? And might be one way that I would do it. And then that is actually the way that it happened. And in a way, I kind of disappointed myself by figuring it out too early. Final words?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It was quick. It was only about an hour and a half long. Yeah, I think a little bit of it was predictable, but I enjoyed it.
What do you rate it?
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
3.5? No, that doesn't sound like enjoyment. All right, you're sticking with 3.5. I give it a 4. Good solid 4. Only because I disappointed myself, and I'm looking forward to the sequel. I think that this could be a nice little series for Keira Knightley. I thought she did a really good job. She was very serious about it. There was no slapstick. It's a drama, and it's a kind of semi-horror. It was very interesting. I would definitely watch it again. We're talking about The Woman in Cabin 10, rated R, on Netflix. If you watched it, I would love to hear from you. You can send me a text at 951-395-1017 or email show@onlinetonight.com. Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We call ourselves ASAP Travel for one reason. We can help you book a ticket ASAP. For those of you that don't know, that means as soon as possible. That means no wait time. You get through right away. No searching online. Our specialty is the lowest available fares on the big name airlines. You know them. We can't tell you their names. You can fly domestically or internationally and save more money than you could if you call the airlines directly. Our proprietary software goes underneath the hood of the major airline booking systems and finds you the best rates available. So if you're ready to make your travel plans right now, business or vacation travel, we have all the major airlines always at great rates. Call ASAP Trips and we'll have your ticket in your inbox in 15 minutes. Call this number now.
800-515-4035. 800-515-4035. 800-515-4035. That's 800-515-4035.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Online tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
All right, a site that I like to poke at sometimes. Bookmark this, by the way, is we give you a website, a URL that we hope you find fun, entertaining, or educational. This one is just fun, I think. It's called mentalfloss.com. Mentalfloss.com. If you want to be like the next Cliff Clavin, am I dating myself? Probably. Next Cliff Clavin at your party, or the next, or you're looking for a conversation starter, go to mentalfloss.com/amazing fact generator. Maybe you're going to that party, or you need a conversation starter, or maybe you want to know just interesting and unusual facts. This site can help. You'll find all kinds of random things. Like, did you know that the number 4 is the only number out of the billions and trillions and infinite number of numbers that are out there? It has the same number of letters as the number 4 represents. So let's do it real fast. 4, F-O-U-R. That's 4 letters, the number 4. 5, F-I-V-E. That's 4 letters representing the number 5. 3, T-H-R-E-E. 5 letters representing the number 3. See? 4. It's magical. Not 8. 8 apparently is Lunar New Year magic. But 4, I feel, is like more magical. And there's 2 4s and an 8. So maybe that will make a difference for you. I don't know. I'm not superstitious when it comes to numbers. I don't care if it's 7, 8, 13. Doesn't matter. If I win the lottery on that day, it's a wonderful day. So there you are. That is this hour's bookmark. This mentalfloss.com/amazing fact generator. mentalfloss.com/amazing fact generator. That's all one word, by the way. Don't forget, I put the URLs in the show notes. This is episode number 2100 or 2100, and it's hour 2. So just go down there and you'll see it. This bookmark, this is brought to you by Paramount Plus, apparently the new owners of Warner Brothers. The amount of content that Paramount Plus this month has is almost criminal. It's a play on word because crime shows of all kinds are right there in the forefront. From British comedy Can You Keep a Secret to the thriller Little Disasters to true crime, Wild Boys, Stranger in Town, and more. You can find out all Paramount Plus has to offer by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/stream.
Online tonight.
357 Magnum, the original point-and-click interface. This is Online Tonight. Now, here's Max.
I've been snackish all day. I had reasonable lunch. I had a reasonable dinner, but then somebody had these York peppermint patties, and then there was the Reese's peanut butter cup, and then we were talking about maybe having a root beer float. I've just been very snackish all day.
And you didn't even have any of the chocolate strawberries
No, I
yet.
haven't had those yet. I'm hoping that there's still some. Are those at home or are they here at the studio? Did you keep 1 or 2 at home for me at least?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have those when I get home. One of my favorite candies is Reese's peanut butter cups, not Reese's Pieces. Blech. And I don't like the Halloween little mini cups, but I like the hearts, and I like the Christmas trees, and I like the round ones, and I like the 2-pack and the 4-pack. I don't like the big cups necessarily. I just like the originals. Well, I was excited but sad to hear this story H.B. Reese's, the inventor of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, has a grandson. His name is Brad Reese, accused the Hershey Company of quietly changing the ingredients in Hershey's products. The grandson says these products have been replaced by non-traditional items. Like traditional items would be milk chocolate with real peanut butter. No, he's claiming that Hershey's is using these compound coatings, maybe with no chocolate in it, and using peanut butter style cream instead of actual peanut butter. Brad posted a letter on LinkedIn criticizing the company and urging transparency from the brand. He argued the original formula, which is milk chocolate and peanut butter, ground up peanuts without a bunch of extra junk put in it, was central to his grandfather's product mission. Hershey purchased the rights to the Reese's brand in 1963. Hershey, of course, responded and said, "We still make them the same way, using roasted peanuts and milk chocolate." They did, however, admit that because of the shapes, they're blaming the shapes and the sizes, that they've had to change the formulas just a little bit so that they'll flow through the machines better and they'll coat the stuff and stay stuck to the stuff better. So we don't really know, but it sounds like they slightly admitted to changing the original formulas so they can make these new shapes. How they changed them, I don't know. Hershey maintains that the core chocolate and peanut butter combination remains the essence of the brand. I can tell that they taste different. That's why I prefer the cups. I absolutely hate the minis. They don't taste right. And the shape ones have a different flavor. And if you blind taste them, like if you cut them up into a square and you blind taste them, I think you could tell the difference too. Miss Victoria is very, very excited about this. She said to me, "Are you going to go get a Shamrock Shake this year for St. Patrick's Day?" Because that used to be a tradition for me when I was a kid. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not paying $12. Last year, I think you had to buy the Goombly or what is that purple guy's name from the McDonald's characters? Goombly.
No.
You'll come up with it.
I will.
Last year, you had to buy a combo for $18.99 to get the Shamrock Shake. They weren't selling it separate. So I basically said, forget it. I'm never going back to McDonald's to get a Shamrock Shake because they're making it difficult for someone like me to just enjoy the one thing that I want to go in there for. I don't need all the extra add-ons.
Grimace.
So Grimace had a Grimace bundle, $18.99. I refused. I love Girl Scout Thin Mints. So when Wendy's said they're bringing back the Thin Mint Frosty nationwide, we all got excited. Miss Victoria said, "If you decide to go to the Wendy's to get one of these, I'll go with you because I like Frosties because they're nice and thick. And this is Shamrock Shake like. It might be better. And you can
because it has cookies in it.
And you can just go in there and buy the one thing that you want and not be forced to buy a $20 combo." And I said, okay, I will go with you. I would be happy to do so. Don't forget, if you missed any portion of the show, you can head over to the website onlinetonight.com where you can check out the podcast, the audio archive. The show notes are very important each and every hour. Got the bookmark this. We've got the Geek Speak. We've got the things that we covered. And don't forget to check out my new merchandise on my store, onlinetonight.com/store. If you like Irish and pirates, I think you'll enjoy it. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.